Hello there guys, welcome in another tutorial. So in this tutorial I would like to show you how to quickly create train and all tasks which are involved with the train. So what I have here, I prepared just some basic textures for train and some of the raw files. They are Photoshop raw files. Um, I will show you in detail how to create them because there are so many ways to create them and their usage in terrain generator, it's so important because it's so easy, and you can, for example, create those files using Maya and just tweak some settings, and I will show you how it works later on. So on the beginning, what I would like to show you first is to go to Window, Asset Store. In the search bar over here, I just type it terrain, and over here you have first terrain, which was like terrain assets, which was created by Unity, and they're for free. They were created kind of long time ago in first versions of Unity, and they're pretty good. Also, there's tons of free ones, but I'm just gonna show you this one as an example. So basically, I already used them, and for over here you're gonna have button which is say download, and they which that's gonna allow you to like download, but first you need to sign in Asset Store and all sorts. So as soon as you're gonna download, it's just gonna show you this box import and how you want to import and what. I'm just gonna do it really quickly and just have a look how to work with the Asset Store. Just look because there's some of the really good free stuff over there, and what you need to look at as well as on the license, what license the creator of this asset provides. So right now what it's doing is just um, importing everything into our scene, and as soon as it's gonna be ready, we're gonna import the character controller, just simple basic one because I would like to show you how terrain looks in the game. Yeah, that shouldn't be long. Also, as you can see, it was created in 2010, so it was on the first versions of Unity. Okay, that was pretty quick. So we don't need this one anymore, and we're going to here to assets and import package and just character controller. That's what we need, and we're just gonna import that. That's just literally a few seconds. And we have terrain assets, and we're gonna have standard assets with the character controller inside. So under terrain assets we have few types which are just uh, bushes, some of the textures, um, one rock mesh, and like all sorts of different kind of stuff. Okay, but all of this we're gonna use under the train. So in order to create a train, um, we need to go under game object, create order, and train. And what that give us, we're gonna grab it up, just the terrain over here, and new terrain file. Well, this new terrain file, it holds all the settings of this terrain. What we're gonna do as well, we're gonna create one directional light, and okay, over here, like if we're gonna click on terrain, we have like this bar and a terrain script, and we're just gonna click on this cog, and over here we have all the different settings for this terrain. For example, this one is width and length of terrain, so that's pretty easy, you can guess. It's just controlling the size of terrain. Height is just saying how tall it can be, but this one is going to be really crucial with the raw files. Height map resolution is the resolution of the file, basically about the raw file, which controls the terrain. Basically, what you're doing when you're creating this terrain is creating a black and white map, and all the shades of gray are later implemented as a displacement map. And later detail resolution and all sorts. The best thing, if you don't really understand this, don't really do that on the beginning. Those ones are pretty standard standard values. What is important for us over here right now is height map and import and export. So import allowed you to create terrain out of the height map which you already created. You can create in other software. The easiest one is Maya for me. And export, if you already painted one map, you can export it and use it in another software. For example, in NewDK or any other. So let's click on import, let's go to assets, and under raw files, choose, like I create some of them for examples, choose one, and this one gonna create like automatic settings for which is like byte order and stuff and bytes, but I need to change Y, because if I'm gonna import it, that's gonna be pretty weird. And if I'm gonna change it, for example, for 200, you're gonna see that it's gonna be a bit more smooth. In some of the other ones, you can see over here, like I'm gonna choose this one maybe. Like in some of the other ones, you're gonna have that weird things coming because of Unity cannot really recognize the last like kind of wide values, and that this one, if you're gonna have, for example, for this 600, it's gonna come out like this. So in order to prevent this, it's better if you're gonna go in 200 and later smooth it out, those parts. So let's check, I don't know, 5. They are pretty nice. Let's go for 400, and that's the terrain, for example, which has been this one actually has been created in Maya with few clicks, later exported to as an image to Photoshop and changed the file format, and that was it. And it was pretty quick to create that. So instead of sitting and painting, you can create something like this using Maya. Okay, so at this point, let's delete that. Let's create another terrain, and we don't need this one. And we have another terrain. Okay, and let's go and go through the painting inside of Unity. So you have few options. This is the first option, and you have your brushes over here, which you can choose which one brush you would like to have. Obviously brush size, so you can choose, you can see the blue highlight on the terrain, how big the brush is, and also how strong it is. And this one is just putting your terrain up, which doesn't really do much, just putting your terrain up. This one mainly what it's doing is putting your terrain in the height which you would like to have. As default, the Y position is 0, but over here you can choose the height. Yeah, and you can choose the brush, and this one is gonna give the terrain on this height only. Like, as you can see, it doesn't go really up, it doesn't really go down. It just gives you this height. Or you can click this button to flatten it, and you have all terrain in this height. and then you can just lower it, and you can create lower terrain out of it. Or you can choose different brush, and it's gonna create kind of different things. Okay, the next one is smooth. So as you can see over here, they are not looking like really smooth, they are more like some sharp. If you're gonna use this brush, it's just gonna smooth the part of it. As you can see, that's not really difficult. Those three functions are pretty easy, pretty basic. Every single terrain generator or terrain tool have these ones. The next one is pretty interesting. This one is allowing you to paint the terrain. So if you're gonna click under the edit textures and add texture, this one gives you the option choose between texture and normal map. It's really good to put normal map. If you don't want to, well, you're gonna lose kind of a loss of quality. So I can choose under the texture, and as you can see, the terrain doesn't have any texture on it, but the first texture is the most important because it's a base texture. For example, if I'm gonna choose this one, I'm not gonna import the normal map. You see, this texture was not that great. You can see the seams and stuff really badly. So that's the base. I just want to edit this texture, so I'm just gonna go under this edit textures and edit texture, and I'm gonna choose, for example, sand. As you can see, you don't have those seams because this texture, it have to be specific. Those textures need to be seamless, and that's really kind of the best choice for you. So okay, I have this one, and what next? I can just add another texture, and I'm gonna add, for example, rock, or maybe from this standard from these assets I'm gonna put like this grass. And what happened? Well, nothing really happened because, well, I didn't apply it. I have the texture here, but in order to paint it, I need to choose the brush, choose the brush size, target strength. This is kind of important, but I'm gonna go in detail in a second, and then paint it on our terrain, or use just different brush and paint it over here. Yeah, because this one is a base. This one is all over the place on the beginning, and every next textures I need to just change it. The target strength is kind of important because it's as you can see, it's showing a pressure in how detailed the texture will be. Okay, I'm gonna add, for example, another one, this one, and one more. Gonna be rock. So I'm gonna take this one in target of, like, gonna pick a pretty small target of 175. I can paint it. I'm painting it. I'm painting this texture, but it's not that strong. As you can see, I'm painting this one now. I change my target strength and I'm painting it, but as well not too much. And as far as I change it, look what happened. And in this way, I can blend between the textures. For example, this one gonna be kind of rocky part. This one a bit stronger. look how it looks like. Pretty good. So that's how you basically paint the terrain. And okay, let's go to another um, another function. This one is placing trees or the meshes or anything which can be placed on terrain. And this one is pretty cool. I really like this one. So basically I click edit trees because I don't have nothing yet. Edit trees, and I'm gonna choose the for example this rock. This rock is not a tree, but it's a mesh which I can place on terrain. So basically I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna add, and I'm just gonna put all over the place. Wow, that's kind of a lot. And over here I can just change the size and density and all sorts. But I'm gonna add another one which is gonna be like this is shorter and show you all the meshes. I'm gonna add another tree, or this one. Yeah, I have these trees, I have these rocks, and I'm gonna add another one. Oh, sorry, too fast. And I'm gonna add, I don't know, bamboo. Okay. Wow, look at the size of the train and the how quick I can do it. If I want to be really precise, I can um, kind of paint it by hand. But okay, with left click, I'm painting it, and if I want to delete it, I'm just holding Control and left click, and that's gonna be kind of taking lots of time, like painting by hand, deleting it, and all sort. Yeah. Also, keep in mind that if I have bamboo selected and I'm painting bamboo all over the other meshes, and I'm then want to delete it, Control and left click, only deleting the mesh which is selected. For example, rock, and I'm just taking out the rock. But there is a special button over here which is must place. So every single asset which I have here is gonna be automatically randomly generated all over the train. So I gotta click this button, like number of trees. That's pretty good number, and place. Look at this. It's placed all over the train for me. Pretty good. If I have everything like all the textures painted, I just can do that, and I have randomly generated terrain, and then I can like kind of modify. For example, I have rock here, I don't want rocks here, and that's pretty cool stuff. Okay, but it's not enough. We have one more, and this one, like, it's gonna give us details. So for example, I'm gonna add texture like this brush, and we have all sorts of different components under it. So I have this, and I'm gonna paint it, and as you can see, I'm painting additional detail which are kind of like bushy texture and stuff. The problem with this, I cannot like kind of mass generate that. I have to paint it by hand. So at this point, let's just put the controller and let's play the game, and let's have a look at this. As you can see, those ones are just 2D textures, and they are when you are rotating, this one is rotating with you, so it's always looking like from the side, like it's kind of real. It's, well, there was tons of better textures than those ones. Those ones are pretty old and pretty basic. But what this allows you, if you see the ground texture is low resolution, and you can add like grass to this, it's not gonna look that bad because you're not gonna see it. And if you're gonna have tons of other meshes all over the place, you're gonna distract the player. So let's check another one. We're going here, we're gonna add grass texture, and let's add grass over here. All of those, they're over here with these terrain assets. So I have grass and I'm gonna just place them. And let's play again. As you can see, this grass is a bit better, but it's a bit too big. Yep, so let's go back. Let's edit it. And obviously over here we can see minimum height, maximum height. I don't want maximum height so that big. Minimum height, something like this. And you can see over here how this is editing. It's pretty cool. And also you can change the color and all sorts. Let's have a look right now. You can see the size of it. The small one, it's looking pretty bad. But over here you can see how this thing works. It's rotating to you, but this one shouldn't be that small. Okay, so that's for the basic for the terrain. As you can see, that's pretty cool, cool stuff, and you can do all sorts of things. If you would like to have if you would like to see how to create one terrain detailed, which kind of looking really good, and how long it takes, just post a comment below and I can go through it. So thanks for watching.